Chapter 1 The Cunning Fox. In the heart of a lush, green forest, where ancient trees whispered secrets and the air was thick with the sweet scent of pine, there lived a fox unlike any other. This fox was known far and wide for its cunning and sly nature, a reputation that spread through the animal kingdom like wildfire. The fox, with its sleek red fur and bright, intelligent eyes, made its home in a cozy den hidden beneath the roots of a gnarled old oak tree. From this vantage point, it surveyed its domain with a calculating gaze, always on the lookout for its next opportunity. While other animals in the forest spent their days hunting for food or playing in the sun-dappled glades, the fox was always busy scheming. It was a master of deception, able to outwit even the cleverest of foes with its quick thinking and sharp wit. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the shadows grew long, the fox emerged from its den, ready to begin its nightly hunt. Tonight, as always, it would use its cunning to ensure that its belly was full and its reputation as the most cunning creature in the forest remained unchallenged. Chapter 2 The Henhouse Heist. One crisp autumn evening, as the moon rose high in the sky and the stars twinkled like diamonds, the fox's keen ears caught the sound of clucking coming from a nearby farm. Curiosity piqued, it followed the sound until it came upon a small clearing where a farmer's henhouse stood. The henhouse was filled with plump, juicy chickens, their feathers ruffled against the chill of the night. The fox's mouth watered at the thought of a hearty meal, but it knew that stealing from the henhouse would be no easy task. The farmer was a vigilant man, and his guard dogs were fierce and loyal. Undaunted, the fox retreated into the shadows to devise a plan. After much thought, it came up with a clever scheme. It would wait until the dead of night, when the farmer and his dogs were fast asleep, before making its move. As the clock struck midnight, the fox crept silently towards the henhouse. Using all its cunning, it slipped inside without making a sound. The chickens, startled from their slumber, clucked softly in alarm. But the fox was prepared. It had brought with it a sack, which it deftly filled with the choicest chickens before slipping back out into the night. As it disappeared into the darkness, the fox couldn't help but grin. Once again, its cunning had prevailed, and it had enjoyed a delicious meal to boot. Chapter 3 Outsmarting the Farmer. The next morning, when the farmer discovered that some of his chickens were missing, he was furious. He knew that only a cunning thief could have pulled off such a heist. Determined to catch the culprit, he doubled the patrols around his farm and set traps in the hopes of catching the thief red-handed. But the fox was always one step ahead. It knew the forest like the back of its paw and was able to evade the patrols and traps with ease. Each night, it returned to the henhouse, using a different route each time to throw off any pursuers. The farmer, frustrated by his inability to catch the thief, began to lose hope. But the fox was not content with merely outsmarting the farmer. It wanted to teach him a lesson he would never forget. One night, as the fox crept towards the henhouse, it noticed that the farmer had left a lantern burning outside. An idea began to form in its clever mind. Using a stick, the fox knocked over the lantern, causing it to break and the oil to spill out onto the ground. When the farmer heard the crash, he rushed outside, only to find the fox standing there, surrounded by the flickering flames. Panicked, the farmer tried to put out the fire, but it quickly spread, engulfing the henhouse in flames. As the farmer watched helplessly, the fox slipped away into the night, its mission accomplished. The farmer had been outsmarted, and the fox's reputation as the most cunning creature in the forest was secure. Chapter 4: The Fox's Consultancy. As the moon waxed and waned, tales of the fox's unparalleled cunning spread through the forest like wildfire. Other animals, intrigued by the fox's reputation, began to seek its advice on various matters. The fox, pleased by the attention and recognizing an opportunity to further its own interests, welcomed these visitors. It listened carefully to their problems and conundrums, offering clever solutions that often involved a twist of wit or an unexpected approach. Word of the fox's insightful advice spread quickly, and soon, animals from far and wide were making the journey to seek its counsel. From the wise old owl with a riddle to solve to the young rabbit seeking guidance on avoiding predators, the fox became the go-to advisor for all matters, big and small. With each successful resolution, the fox's reputation as the most cunning creature in the forest grew. Other animals began to defer to its judgment, and soon, the forest was a more harmonious place, with conflicts resolved and challenges met with clever strategies and innovative thinking. But as the fox basked in its newfound role as the forest's wise counselor, it remained ever vigilant, knowing that its reputation was built on a delicate balance of truth and illusion. And so, with a sly smile and a twinkle in its eye, the fox continued to dispense its advice, secure in the knowledge that its cunning would never fail it. Chapter 5: The Wolf's Challenge. One crisp morning, as the forest awoke to the gentle caress of the sun's first rays, a lone wolf approached the fox's den. The wolf, known for its own cunning and sharp mind, had heard of the fox's reputation and sought to test its own skills against the clever creature. "Fox!" the wolf called out, its voice echoing through the trees. "I challenge you to a contest of wit and cunning. Let us see who is truly the cleverest creature in the forest." The fox, never one to back down from a challenge, emerged from its den, its eyes glinting with mischief. "I accept your challenge, wolf," it replied, its voice filled with confidence. "But be warned, for I am not easily outsmarted." And so, the contest began. The wolf and the fox matched wits, each one trying to outdo the other with clever tricks and cunning schemes. For days they battled, neither one willing to admit defeat. But the fox, true to its nature, had a plan. One night, as the moon hung low in the sky and the stars shimmered like diamonds, the fox set up a clever trap. It lured the wolf into a clearing, where a pit covered with leaves awaited. As the wolf stepped onto the hidden pit, it fell into the trap with a yelp of surprise. The fox, watching from the shadows, grinned triumphantly. It had outsmarted the wolf, proving once and for all that it was the cleverest creature in the forest. As the fox approached the pit to taunt its captive, the wolf looked up with a glint of admiration in its eyes. "Well played, fox," it admitted. "You truly are the master of cunning." And with that, the fox released the wolf from the pit, knowing that it had earned not only the wolf's respect but the respect of all the creatures of the forest. Chapter 6: The Fox's Triumph. With the wolf's challenge accepted and the stage set, the fox sprang into action, its mind working like a well-oiled machine of cunning. As the wolf presented its riddles, the fox answered effortlessly, each solution more clever and unexpected than the last. The wolf, growing increasingly frustrated, struggled to keep up. It became evident that the fox had anticipated the wolf's moves, outmaneuvering it at every turn. As the final riddle was posed, the wolf knew it had been bested. With a sly smile, the fox revealed its victory, proving once and for all that it was the cleverest creature in the forest. The wolf, humbled and defeated, could only bow its head in acknowledgement of the fox's superior intellect. As the forest echoed with the sounds of the wolf's retreat, the other animals emerged from their hiding places, their eyes filled with admiration for the fox. The fox had once again proven its cunning, solidifying its place as the most clever and respected animal in the forest. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the clearing, the fox knew that its reputation as the cleverest creature in the forest was well deserved. Chapter 7: The Cunning Legend. With the wolf's challenge behind it, the fox's reputation as the most cunning animal in the forest was firmly established. The other creatures of the woodland watched in awe and respect as the fox continued to outsmart any who dared to challenge its wit. The fox, content in its mastery of the forest, continued to roam the woodlands, its red fur gleaming in the dappled sunlight. It was both respected and feared by all, its cunning mind and clever tricks keeping the other animals on their toes. But the fox was not content to rest on its laurels. It knew that its reputation was built on its ability to outthink its rivals, and so it continued to devise new schemes and strategies, always staying one step ahead of those who sought to challenge its dominance. And so, as the seasons changed and the forest continued to flourish, the legend of the cunning fox grew. It was a legend of wit and intelligence, of cleverness and cunning, and of a creature who had earned its place as the most respected and feared animal in the forest.